Get ready for New Orleans. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am personally inviting you to save the date for the 2026 Black History Month Literary Weekend. This February marks 10 years of celebrating literacy and our history, and we're taking it back to New Orleans, where it all began. Join us and meet these amazing authors: Michelle Knight, Royce Dixon, Chef Diana Riley, Lillian Joseph, Dr. Audrey Ann Moses, Dr. Emily Woolcock, Dr. LaTracy McDonald, Mark Beausejour, Eloja Hadley, Kevin Wayne Johnson, Tori Q. Jones, Marvin O'Brien, Karen Stampley, and Michelle Roney. February 19th through the 21st, we're taking over New Orleans for an unforgettable weekend of books, brilliance, and Black excellence. Stay tuned. Early bird tickets start December 1st. For more information, visit www.mtwimagesolutions.com. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am back with another episode of the Horizons Author Lounge. And I'm super excited because tonight we're not only interviewing two more authors who are going to be a part of the National Black Book Festival, which takes place later this month, but we are also doing giveaways tonight. We are going to be giving out two books to two very lucky viewers. So I hope you guys are watching. So go ahead and tag your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, your brother, your uncle, them. Tell them that the Horizons Author Lounge is about to start. So first of all, before I bring on my first guest, can we get into my t-shirt? Yes, Authors Against Breast Cancer. So I started this movement last year, and I decided that I wanted to have an original design, and this is an original design. Yes. Can we get into the afro? So what we're doing is for every t-shirt sold this year, $1 of that is going to go to a breast cancer organization that focuses on African-American women, because unfortunately, African-American women usually lead the occurrences of breast cancer, but we have a higher mortality rate because we often get checked later than other races. So I want to be able to shine a light on that and help more of our sisters and some brothers to, because yes, men can get breast cancer as well, but I want to be able to do my part to help more of our ladies and gentlemen beat this terrible disease, and it can be beaten. So please go ahead, order your t-shirt. I will put the link in the chat, and you can click the link and order your shirt. I would love to see more people wearing this beautiful original design. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. I would like to see more of our people wearing this original design and joining the fight against breast cancer, especially in the African-American community. So with that being said, I'm ready to go ahead and jump into our first guest, Dr. Tammi Fleming. Hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I am excellent. I'm so excited to be here with you, Dr. Rhonda.
I'm excited to have you.
I'm following all of your work. I'm excited about your new book coming out as I celebrate my new books. I can't wait you to share about that and the upcoming book festival. So yes, I'm excited.
There's so much to talk about tonight.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get mine out the way. Yes, you heard correctly. Surprise Swipe Right is coming. So the release date is October 28th. But tonight, sometime tonight, one lucky winner is going to get this advanced copy of Surprise Swipe Right, which is a hilarious holiday rom-com. So it's all about a 70-year-old lady who looks pretty good for her age, but she's not dating. And her daughter wants to change that. So she secretly puts her on a dating app so she can try to get her out there and put her back into the dating scene. So a lot of funny things happen when she finds out she's on this dating app. So check out Surprise Swipe Right. And if you'd like a sneak peek, I will also send you a sneak peek of Surprise Swipe Right. But that's all for me, because I really want this whole time to be about you. So Dr. Tammi, tell us, who is Dr. Tammi Fleming?
Well, I am, of course, Tammi, Dr. Tammi, Coach T. I am a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, an executive coach. But I'm also a person who've overcome a lot of detours and have learned from them and want to share what those detours could actually lead to in terms of your destination, how you see them and how you frame detours really can depict what you end up with, right? Because it's all about frame of mind, reframing detours, reframing setbacks, and really making them success. So that's who I am. That's what I'm about right now. It's all about leadership detours because they actually can lead us to a pathway to success.
I love the name Leadership Detour, partly because sometimes our biggest leadership experiences come at a time when we think that something negative is happening, and it winds up being a defining point for our leadership style.
Yeah, what I realized a lot later in life is that detours are actually opportunities to build resilience, to re-examine, to build new skills, and to pivot if you have to. I don't think there's nothing wrong with pivots, but a lot of times we get caught up in our emotions and don't realize that sometimes our destiny is leading us somewhere else. And so that detour that we may be experiencing, and it looks different for all of us, right? So I talk about the detour and the leadership detour in terms of all the pivots I had in my career. But a lot of us, particularly Black women and women of color, we are caretakers for our families. We go through career journeys, we get degrees, and then we are the primary caretaker of the family. Something happens and we have to step out of the workplace, right?
Right.
We decide that, oh my God, you're talking about rom-com. I just fell in love. I want to get married. That could be a detour. You know, even if it's temporary, these detours actually could be times for us to re-examine our pathways, where we're going in life in terms of our professional careers, and where we're going in terms of our personal careers also.
Amen. And let's talk a little bit about that, because some people may know that my dissertation was on the myth of the angry Black woman syndrome and how it affects African American female CEOs or executive leaders in the corporate realm. And often African American women are labeled, sometimes fairly, sometimes unfairly, depending on the situation and the person. But we're labeled as angry or combative, even if we just seem to be the one lone dissenting voice in the room because we don't subscribe to groupthink, or because we call out foolishness when we see it. We may be accused of being angry. Have you seen a lot of that in your research for this book?
Yes, I saw a lot of it in my research and in my lived experience, Dr. Rhonda. The reality is, in the book, I talk about the way we have held on to this notion of professionalism. And what we describe as professional right now was never defined with us in mind. It was never defined with Black women, with people of color, the way we are expressive, the way we express ourselves. And I think a lot of times we actually do get that label, but some of that is because we're holding on to this notion that we cannot honor our emotions in the workplace. So in fact, we come across as cold. So some of that re-examining I had to do for myself is that in my attempt to appear professional, I was coming across as cold, as non-emotional. And that was not being my authentic self, but I held on so tightly to this notion of what professionalism was. It was really reinforcing what others may have labeled me. And so for me, the detour is a part of that time where I can begin to re-examine and say, why am I holding on to this notion of professionalism? Why am I denying my emotions? Why am I not being my authentic self? And we throw that word around a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
About authenticity, but authenticity at its root is about being truthful. It's about being true to yourself. And that means honoring our emotions and acknowledging them. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to go off on the handle, go off on someone, but it does mean that there's a way for me to calibrate and
Yes.
say, hey, what you just said offended me. It didn't set right. Is that what you meant? And a lot of times we don't ask the questions, we make assumptions. And I wrote this book as a way to say to Black women in particular, while I think there's a lot of learning for everyone in this book, I am unapologetic that this book is about Black women in professional spaces, what it is to be authentically yourself and re-examine those detours, re-examine those terms we've held so closely to professionalism and why we are pegged as the angry Black woman, when in fact, another person, whether it's a white person, whether it's a Black man, or whether it's a white man, could display some of the same behaviors.
Yes,
will not
yes.
be pegged the same way. They will have totally different descriptors, right?
That is so true. They're usually called go-getters.
Go-getters.
Yes. They're being told that they're motivated and they're spirited, they're passionate. And those are not the same words that we're given for the same behavior.
Same behavior. Yes.
And I've also you touched on something that I also included in my dissertation, that sometimes when Black women start to rise in leadership, they're afraid to show their authentic selves because they're afraid of being termed the angry Black woman. So they don't show their authentic selves. They often will agree because they're trying to go along to get along. And so it affects their leadership style. And then when something goes wrong, they're the ones who are to blame because they didn't speak up.
Yeah, there are a couple of ways I approach this in the book. And I think the book is just such an awesome way to really help folks to go through some reflection, right? But the idea that as we rise in the workplace, and sometimes for me, I hit a wall in my career. I hit a wall. I had my PhD. I have all the credentials that you can name. But one of the things we tend to do is we believe that, and we're taught this, the harder you work, you have to work harder. You have to run faster than everyone else. And that is not true.
And it's exhausting to always feel like you have to be the best. I mean, like, you can't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, it's over.
It is over. And well, we think that, right?
Exactly. We think that.
So one of the reasons we do this, and I go very deep on this in the book, is around imposter syndrome. We really believe that if we keep going, no one is going to notice that I made it through or I'm rising. But the truth is, one of the tenets of imposter syndrome is that there's proof that you're not an imposter. You have all the credentials, you have all the skills, yet something internal keeps telling us we have to do more. We have to run faster. Now, there's nothing wrong with you being ambitious, but that does not make you a leader. So one of the things I talk about in the book, and I think is very important, particularly for professional Black women, is this gap between being a technical expert and being seen as a leader. And there's a real big chasm there, that we are pegged as the professional experts. everyone comes to us. Everyone calls us. We're the go-to. We're the closer. We're all of those things. But when it comes time to giving us the title or to give us the authority or the real positions, we fail. And there is really a difference there. Now, a lot of times you need those skills, right, as an expert to be seen, but they don't make you a leader. And in the book, I dive really deep into that, on the difference between being seen as a technical expert and being seen as a leader.
That is a huge distinction. And I'm so glad you pointed that out, because we sometimes are trying to show everybody how good we are at something, and we want to be seen as the person who knows how to do things. But you're right, that does not always translate into leadership skills. It just shows that you're a worker bee.
It shows that you're a worker bee. And man, I am 54. I just made 54, right? It took me all of the time to realize, because I kept saying, and we reinforced it. I was like, oh, I'm going to do another training. I'm going to get more skilled up. I'm going to keep doing more and more. And what it does is it reinforces that you're the technical expert. It still doesn't make you a leader. And you're not going to work yourself into people seeing you as a leader without really doing some internal work around what being a leader really means. And it's not about getting things done on a checklist. It's more about motivating others, really seeing the big picture. And it's less about doing, and it's more about being. How do you embrace the title of being a leader and not being the worker bee?
Awesome. Now, do you have a chapter where you give tips on how to do this?
What's so amazing about this book, and I'm pulling it up and I have it right here, right? I have it right here. But what's interesting about this book is that every chapter ends with coaching tools, because I'm an executive coach. So when you think about the work that I do at Diamond Consultants, it is about helping leaders really find this sort of leadership pathway. And every chapter in the book actually ends with coaching tools, coaching prompts. How do you find your authentic self? What does it mean to have executive presence? And I love the chapter where I talk about voice, visibility, and vibe. That's executive presence for us. That's how we talk about it, not all the jargon, but how do you show up and talk and express yourself in a certain way? What does it mean when you show up in a room? What does it mean when you're not in a room? When you have visibility, people notice when you're not there, baby. And that's what I tell people, like, they're going to notice when you're not there. And your vibe, your energy, what are you projecting? And a lot of times in my past, I thought I was projecting this sort of air of I'm an executive, I'm a leader, but it was standoffish. It was really not who I was. And what I've done now at 54 is I'm stepping into, you know what? I'm bold. I'm beautiful. I'm a tall Black woman. When I walk in the room, they notice it. And I can't shy away from that. Girl, they better watch out for me.
You better speak. So I'm quite sure you're going to have this book at the National Black Book Festival.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm going to have the book. I'm actually doing a session at the National Black Book Festival on Sunday and the 25th. And I'm going to actually have the book. I'm actually going to have a vendor's table, but I actually get a chance to really work and do a workshop. So I've designed this real interactive workshop. I'm still working on it, where I'm going to give people tools. We're going to work through some of these sort of concepts that I brought out. What does it mean to increase your voice, your visibility, and your vibe in 30 days? How do you do that? It look like to really step into leadership and step back from being seen as the technical expert? Because sometimes in order to step up, you got to step back, because you got to let them see you in a different light. And and that's one of the things I will say this as we talk about this. I was just reading the headline of more than 350,000 Black women being out of the workplace since the pandemic. And that number has exacerbated over the last 9 months because a lot of us had leadership and executive roles in government, and they're hitting us hard, right? And those pivots, along with the other pivots I talk about, Black women being caretakers and caregivers and wives, entrepreneurs, we're all of these things. How do we begin to look at those detours as opportunities to reflect, pivot, and start again? And that's the beauty of leadership. And so for the National Black Book Conference in Houston, 23rd through the 25th, if you guys don't know about this, I will be down there doing a session and look forward to sharing some of these concepts and working with some of the women there.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this book in person. Many people may not realize, but I'm the national literary correspondent for the National Black Book Festival. So I'm there every year doing on-the-spot interviews. I interview all of our featured authors. So I'm looking forward to, I know we're doing this interview now, but I will be looking for you because I'm also a pretty high-ranking person in the federal government. And yes, I'm working for free right now, but it's coming. It's coming.
I get it. I get it. But you are awesome. Let me just take a moment to say how awesome you are, Dr. Rhonda. I've looked at Meet the World and looked at all the things that you've been offering, not just for yourself, but for authors like me. First time author. I was lucky enough to launch as a bestseller on Amazon and actually make #1 bestseller list, especially in women in business and business mentoring and coaching.
But you have a crazy support system.
Crazy. I'm from New Orleans, like you. And look, New Orleans is showing up, baby. They have been.
I see.
Look, I was just looking at someone posted a Facebook post, but I've also just lost my federal government job January of 17. So I was appointed by the last administration and worked for 2+ years under that administration, been in philanthropy. So I have a wide network and folks have been just extremely supportive. And you know, our community is like that. They want us to rise and to be better. And I want my community to rise and be better. So, you know, it's reciprocal. It's reciprocal.
Love that. Well, I know we have a little bit of time, but we were planning on doing a giveaway. What was the
So price? I do want to offer a Kindle version of the Leadership Detour to, I guess, the first person that actually gets on your channel and subscribes to your channel, and you could say Leadership Detour, the Leadership Detour, and that's going to be the validation. And
yes,
put your email. If you put your email, I will personally reach out to you and make sure you get the Kindle gift of the book, so that you can read the Leadership Detour and engage in this wonderful conversation that's happening nationally.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. That is amazing support, and I appreciate that. So, so just as you heard Dr. Tammi say, the first person who subscribes to the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube channel, the YouTube channel now, if you subscribe, and then what was the phrase that you wanted them to put?
The Leadership Detour.
Yes, put the Leadership Detour in the comments. You will get a free ebook version of the Leadership Detour. I'm gonna buy mine when I see you in Houston, because you know, like I said, you know, being that rising leader, you know, there's always something that you still need to learn, and or at least something that you should be reminded of. And I think that sometimes we feel that we have gotten to a level where we don't need to learn anymore, and I always feel like I have something to learn.
Yeah, one of the things I found, and I'm going to keep saying I'm 54. I'm so happy about that.
Okay, well, you don't look 54, so you keep saying it and shouting it from the rooftop.
I'm so excited about the fact that I've gotten to a place in my life where I realize that the less I feel pressured to say or think I know everything, the more relaxed and calm I become. And one of the things I've begun to do, and I talk about this in the book, is how do you master the art of asking questions? Because if you realize how much the little we really know, then you can feel less pressure to try and prove yourself. That's a part of that imposter syndrome. Like, we're always trying to prove ourselves. So how do you actually say, I don't have to prove myself. I just have to be in the room and my energy speaks for itself, right? And if we can feel that way, if we could really own that, I think it comes across. It comes across in our conversations. It comes
Yes,
across in our space that we take up physically and mentally. We're taking up space and minds all over the place. And we should be okay with that. I'm okay with it.
absolutely.
I tell people I know very little.
But that is so huge that you say that, because I do think that we often put ourselves in a position. Sometimes other people ain't even put it in a position. We're putting ourselves in a position and feel like we always have to prove how smart we are. We always have to prove that we know what we're doing, that we belong here, and we don't have to keep doing it. We just need to show up and perform like we would, just like any other leader would perform.
That's right. But we have to relearn that, Rhonda. The
It's
truth
true.
is, we've been taught that. We've been taught that. I grew up hearing over and over again, and it was so reinforced. You have to run faster. You have to know more. You have to work harder. And it's a myth. That is not going to make you a leader, and it doesn't make you a leader in your home. You could just be. Leadership is not about doing, it's about being. It's about sharing your expertise, your experience, your insights, and not so much about running around volunteering for every single thing, doing every single thing for everyone. That is not leadership. And be okay with saying, you know what, that's cool. I'm glad you're doing it. I just don't have time right now. That's not
Right.
where I'm at. And if we could do that, we would feel a lot less stress and pressure on a daily basis.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen. Well,
yeah,
Dr. Tammi Fleming, thank you so much for sharing your insights, for this amazing book that I feel every woman leader needs to read.
yeah.
So thank you for putting all of this into a book and reminding us of some truths that we need to keep in the backs of our minds when we go through our daily leadership lives.
Yes. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Oh goodness, is it 2 weeks?
Yes.
I better start packing.
Yes. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great night. Thank you. All right, y'all. That was Dr. Tammi Fleming. So if you've not done so yet, please, please, please go ahead, go to Amazon and order her book. Go to the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page and subscribe so you can win a free e-version of her book, The Leadership Detour. So without any further ado, because he is already suited and booted and he's um, right backstage. Hello, Antwan Floyd.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I don't know if you remember this. I believe this is your second time being on the show.
Yeah, I remember.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How you feel?
I cannot complain. I cannot complain. I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
So am I. I am anxious to get there.
Well, what do you have going on? Because I know it's been a couple of years since you've been on the show. What do we have out that's new right now?
Right now, I have the last thing that I released was my book, the 13th prospect, stranded on Stony Island.
Ooh.
Book number 6 in my Black Love Detective series. So that was the last thing that I released. I just been doing a lot of writing and working on other things.
Okay, well, I'm glad to know you're still writing. Tell us about the series.
So my series, the first book takes place in Danville, Illinois. It's
Okay.
about a district attorney from Chicago. He goes to Danville to help his ex because she was assaulted. And it's kind of just like a origin story of him shifting from being a detective. From being a district attorney to being a detective.
Okay, so you're kind of into crime fiction. That's your thing.
Correct.
Why did you choose this genre?
Um, when I first started writing, like many years ago, I used to write in the urban fiction genre,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like that genre was very oversaturated at that time.
Right.
So I shifted and I became a fan of Walter Mosley. And
Yes.
he became one of my favorite writers. So that's what that's when I shifted over into writing detective stories, and I started reading Ed Brubaker. He writes
Okay.
like noir um
Okay.
stories. So that's what made me get into writing those type of stories. Just trying to do something different.
I got you. I've actually really enjoy reading crime fiction. And for me, it's not even about guessing who did it. Uh-oh, I'm pull up having some feedback. Okay, we're back now. Saying I actually enjoy reading crime fiction, and it's not so much trying to figure out who did it. I just enjoy the journey of just reading it.
Yeah, I like a good storyline.
Yes,
Something where I don't see it coming. I like a good twist,
yes.
good dialogue, and that's not just reading the books. That's like with TV shows and movies. I love it all.
Me too. Me too. And who's your favorite crime writer besides yourself?
Yeah, I like I said, I like Walter Mosley,
Yes.
um, Ed
And Walter
Brubaker.
Wilson is like the king. I love his work, and I love the
Yeah,
fact that he's still making appearances. And he does not mind talking to other authors, and I love that about him.
and I would love to meet him. I haven't met him yet. I would love to meet him.
Mm,
And he does television stuff too.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to meet him. Um, uh, like I said, I like to watch the shows and stuff. So I'm a
Mhm.
big Luther fan. Um, uh, 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 Matlock. It doesn't matter. I watch all of it.
I think my grandmother used to watch Barnaby Jones. You might be a little too young for that one.
Yeah, I know that one, but I never watched it. But I heard of it before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an older one.
yeah, and Murder She Wrote.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What you know about Murder She Wrote? You're about 12 years old.
hmm So yeah,
Yeah,
I told you.
that was a good one too, though.
Yeah, I told you I'm a fan. But I like to try to seek out black shows and characters. So I even started watching a man named Hulk.
Why have I heard? I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that was like in the I guess late 80s, early
Okay.
90s. From Spencer from
Okay.
Higher. Spencer from Higher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Spencer for Hire. Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one.
It was the black guy on there. It was the black
Yeah.
guy.
Okay, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I think I still remember that one. So I'm so quiet.
So
Are you still there? Oh, okay. I thought you froze.
yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So what are you bringing to the National Black Book Festival?
I am going to bring my series. I have a like I said, I have a 6-part series. I'm breaking all 6 books. Then I have another series called Dope Fiction. It's about these women. It's kind of a crime story, but they're more the best way I can describe it is more like a female version of Alonzo from Training Day.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's kind of like she
So she's a badass.
yeah. So I
I
wrote 2
love
of
it.
those. I wrote 2 of those. One is Dope Fiction Alpha Female, and I have part 2 Dope Fiction Sigma Female.
Okay, now what made you decide to center on a female detective or a female lead?
Because like I don't know, 85% of the people who buy my books are women. So I figured, and more specifically Black women. So I figured that they would want to see something with they have some representation of strong Black females. So that's
Makes
why
sense.
so that's why I wrote it, you know.
Well, no, that makes sense. I think as women readers, we love seeing strong characters we can identify with, or at least aspire to. And so this I think checks both of those blocks.
Yes.
So is this going to be your first time being a part of the National Black Book Festival?
Yes. I
Awesome.
finally pulled the trigger. I am not exaggerating. It's been maybe, it got to be like 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. I put money down and I never finished paying and I never come.
So what made this year the difference?
I said, I need to quit wasting my down payments.
Well, money will do it. Money will do it.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. It's been about 7, 8, 9 years. I put money down, and then I just don't pay on it. I don't go. So this year, I said, let me go ahead and go for real.
Well, good. I am so glad that you're coming. I don't know if you heard, but I was talking with the last guest that I'm the national literary correspondent for the National Black Book Festival. So I'll be there all throughout the weekend doing spot interviews with many of the authors. And on that Saturday, I interview all of the featured authors, all of the headliners, so to speak. And I'll be live streaming throughout the weekend. So it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person.
I know. I don't think we've ever met in person.
No. And I came down to, I've been down to New Orleans a few times. But
okay. Yeah. Well, one of these days I'm gonna have to get you involved with the Black History Month Literary Weekend.
Oh yeah, when do you usually have that?
It's always the last weekend in February.
Well, I need to know about that like now.
Well, this one is all filled up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so you have to do it in 2027. So this coming year is going to be our 10th year. And since it's a milestone year, I'm taking it back to New Orleans, which is where I founded the event. But in 2027, we're going to bring it back to DC. which is where I normally hold it in the DC area.
Oh, that would be cool too, because I'm planning on going to DC soon. My son lives in Philadelphia.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well, yeah, that's not too far.
No. So yeah, I want to come to DC. That would be cool. Yeah, keep me in mind.
I would definitely keep you in mind for 2027.
Yeah.
2026, we have 14 authors. I don't know if you saw the promo at the beginning of the show. Where we named all 14 of the authors who are going to be participating this coming year.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh man, you missed it. I'll show it again at the end of the show.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds cool. That's good. 10 years, that's great.
Yeah. And it goes by so fast. I can't believe it's the 10th year.
That's good. That's legacy now.
There you go. But now, how long have you been writing though?
2009 was the first book I released. It's called Crew Love. Like I said, it was urban fiction, but I always try to be a little different. So when I did that book, it was actually set in the early 1900s, and it was about policy runners in Chicago.
It was about what now?
Policy runners.
Okay.
You know when they used to do the numbers? So that's what my book was about. It was about policy runners in the early 1900s in Chicago. And that was my first book, back in 2009.
Okay. What got you? First of all, when did you fall in love with writing?
I think I've always been a writer. I just didn't realize it until later in life. But I used to write, like when I was a little kid. One of the games I used to play with my sister was making up my own commercials and my own products. And I used to write the commercials and draw the little product I was trying to sell or whatever. And then when I got older, I started rapping. And then
you're a rapper too.
Yeah, not anymore, but back when I was younger, I did. And then I started doing poetry. So I started going to do spoken word. And then I wrote a screenplay. And then after that, that's when I shifted into writing and publishing my books.
Wait, you say you wrote a screenplay. So did you ever take that screenplay to what was it, a theater, or like a stage play, or was it a movie?
It was for film.
Okay, did you ever take it to film?
No, that was way back in the day before everybody could do everything themselves. Well, you could do it yourself, but you had to have a lot of money. But now people making movies with their phones. But
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, phones have come such a long way. I mean, I remember phones just used to be to make a phone call. Now they're cameras, they're movie cameras, they're notepads, they're researchers. Yes, they're everything now. So, but we still need the professionals. You can give me all the tools in the world, but if I'm not as good at it as somebody else, I would rather pay that somebody else to do it.
And that's one of the things that I had to learn doing the self-publishing. Stop trying to do everything myself.
Yeah, and that's a hard lesson that a lot of self-published authors still need to learn, because and I've said this before, there's a really nasty piece of advice that keeps going around and keeps making its way around social media, that an author should never have to pay anything for a book. Yes, you can go. Yeah, exactly. That's why you pays. Yeah, but there are people who believe that an author should not have to pay for anything. They should not have to pay to edit their book. They should not have to pay to format the book. They should not pay to publish the book. They should not pay to market the book, that they can do it all themselves. And anybody who charges them for it is probably trying to scam them. And it is so not true. Sometimes there are people out there who can do a better job than you can. Why not pay that person who can do it better than you and probably faster than you, and then give you a professional product?
But
and then it saves time from you.
Yes. And a lot of people don't realize they end up doing stuff twice. But I think a lot of people have to learn that way. You can tell them whatever you want, but they're going to have to do everything themselves. Then when they put the product out there and it's not performing well, and they ask people why, and they be like, well, this don't look good, and that don't look good, and this don't look good. Then they're going to go back and they're going to have to pay somebody to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Dr. Tammi said, that is the worst advice. Don't think of it as paying, but as investing in your product. That is so true.
I would say
investing yourself. You don't. How can you expect other people to invest in you when you're not even willing to invest in yourself?
That's right.
I
But
mean,
a lot of people have to learn. A lot of people have to just learn the hard way, though.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. And you know, learning the hard way is expensive.
It is. Not only can it be expensive, it can be brand damaging.
Oh, yes. Huge.
Yeah.
And now let's talk to me. What do you mean by brand damaging?
Because I was one of those people who didn't want to pay anybody at first. So, and I still keep them up. I don't try to change anything. But if you go back and look at my first book, look at the reviews on Amazon, it's a good story. He should have hired an editor. It's a good story. He should have paid for an editor. It's a good story. It looked like an 8th grader wrote this. It's a good.
Was that a real review? Somebody said a real
review.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh because wow.
My editing wasn't. My editing. I didn't edit it at all. It was horrible. I used
like. Oh, so you didn't edit the book? You just published your first draft.
Yeah, I just use like Microsoft Word, whatever they have on there when they be like, but that's not like truly editing a book. So
that's right. And I tell people all the time that there are some words that are wrong, but you don't know they're wrong because Microsoft Word sees that it's an actual word. For instance, I was just about to upload my book, Surprise Swipe Right. And as I was going through, there was I can't remember which word it was, but it had a D at the end. It wasn't supposed to have a D at the end. So Microsoft Word would not have picked that up because it was a word that was spelled correctly. Normally.
But it wasn't for that context.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft Word is not going to pick that up.
No.
Even AI may not pick it up.
AI will lie to you a lot.
Say what now?
AI will lie to you a lot.
Well, you have to know how to use AI. I use AI a lot, and I teach authors how to use AI ethically. So there's a great use for it in the literary industry. However, you're right that often AI will lie to you if you don't put the correct prompts in, if you don't train it to not hallucinate, or if you're just depending on it to do all the work for you, like it's a magic wand and it's not a magic wand, you're going to get yourself into trouble. So, but there's nothing that beats the human eye. Like I said, had I not read over that piece, I would not have found that word because AI didn't pick it up. Microsoft Word didn't pick it up. That's something that the human eye has to pick up.
And I don't just look at it like the human eye, because I use AI too. And I try to advocate for people to use AI. A lot of people just do not want to use it because they feel like you use the word ethics. A lot of people do not like to use AI because they feel like it's cheating.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, for me, the way I use it, AI thinks of things that I would not have thought of. So when I put stuff in there and they give me suggestions, then that sparks other ideas. And I take it from there and I build on it.
That's the way I do. When I wrote this book, I used AI not to write the book for me, but I used it to give me ideas. So I didn't have any writer's block writing this, because as soon as I got to a part like, what do I want to write next? I went over to AI and I say, okay, this is what's happening in the book right now. And then it wrote something out and I looked at it and I was like, I'm not using that. But you gave me an idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep writing. And I was able to get the book done a lot faster. And I think that's the beauty of using AI. But no, don't let it write for you, because it's never going to write better than you.
No, and the thing that AI is missing, that's what I try to tell people. You can use it for like foundation, but you still need to build the house. And once you're done, you need to have a real person read it. And you need to also add your own to it, because AI cannot give your story the soul because it's a machine. You, the human, you're going to give it the soul and the emotion that's going to translate on the paper.
Exactly. Antwan, you dropping some jewels tonight.
Like I said, I am not against it, and I try to, like I said, I try to advocate people to use it because it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get more and more advanced. So if you, like you said, you gotta know how to use the right prompts. If you don't learn how to use it now, by the time you try to use it, you're gonna be way behind.
Amen.
And I heard the last portion of the interview that you did with the last guest, and when she spoke on asking questions, not acting like you know everything. I just said that to say I agree, because there's I'm talking about not being behind when learning about AI. There's a lot that I know. There's a lot that I don't know. I know I'm probably not halfway to the point where I need to be to using this AI to its fullest potential.
Yes. Well, Antwan, I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm so looking forward to meeting you in a couple of weeks in Houston.
I'll be looking for you.
Yeah, you're gonna find me. I'm gonna be around. So remind us once again where we can find your books and what books you'll be bringing to Houston.
You can find my books. I'm on Amazon. Just put in my name, Antwan Floyd Sr. Or I prefer you go over to my website, crimefictionmedia.com. Check out my work over there. I'll be bringing my Black Love Detective series, and I'll be bringing my Dope Fiction series.
All right. I love the names of both of them: Dope Fiction series and Black Love Detective series.
Yes. Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, I did put your. Well, no, I didn't. I just put your link in the chat. So everybody can find it. So please, please, please go to crimefictionmedia.com/shop and order Antwan's books. Bring them with you to Houston so you can get your book signed by the author. And then while you're at his table, go ahead and get another one, because he's bringing like 8 of them. So it's going to be something you haven't read yet.
Yeah. Cool. That'll be great. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. But once again, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a supporter of the Horizons Author Lounge. I look forward to meeting you. And you have a wonderful evening.
You too.
All right. Thank you. You have a great one.
Good night.
Good night. All right, y'all, we have come to the end of another Horizons Author Lounge. But before we go, just a couple of things. Number one, I've been talking a lot about the creators' rights movement. If you have not signed the petition, now is the time to do so. If you'd like more information on the creators' rights movement, I will put that link in the chat. Now, some of you may be asking, well, Dr. Rhonda, what is the creators' rights movement? The creators' rights movement is a movement to update the existing copyright laws, because many people don't realize that once you have applied for copyright, that copyright is only good for a limited amount of time, about 70 years or so. And then after that, it's basically up for grabs. So other people can benefit from what you were trying to build a legacy on. Other people can benefit from that. We don't want that. We want you to be able to have perpetual copyright, so that way your work will always be protected, and then you can really pass down your legacy to the next generation. That's what it's all about. And we don't want other people to benefit off of your hard work. So click on the link, Creators' Rights Movement, find more information on the movement, and then sign the petition. So don't slack on that, y'all. Don't slack. This is very important. This protects the rights of all creators, not just authors, but musicians, artists, and so forth. Also, if you are a person who wants to learn more about the art of writing, or maybe you want to align yourself with like-minded authors and like-minded creators, then I invite you to be a part of my school community, and I'm putting that in the chat right now. Now, in this school community, I'm not just teaching you how to write. This is an actual community where we're going to learn different AI tools. We're going to support each other. I'm going to give you free access to all of my resources and all of my courses. This is a tool that you really need in your toolbox. So if you'd like more information, I did put the link in the chat. Go to my school community, Right to Win Writers, and check it out. We want you there, and we want you to give as much as you get, because that's what you're going to get in this community. It's not just about hearing me talk. It's about actually talking with people that you identify with, people who are like-minded, people who support each other while we are striving to be better writers and better selling writers. And that's what it's all about. Now, before I leave, I do want to let you know about the special guest that we have. And then after the special guest, we're going to go right into the outro. So I want to thank all of you for your support. Thank you for helping the Horizons Author Lounge to continue to grow and soar and be a real support to up-and-coming authors all over the world. So that's all I have for tonight. I will see you tomorrow night on the National Black Book Festival page for another episode of Black Authors Matter TV. And then I'll be right back here next week to interview 2 more authors who are going to be a part of the National Black Book Festival. So that's all I have for tonight, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'm going to see you next week.